It was a 2-year around-the-world motorbike adventure that first sensitized Duncan Goose to the extreme poverty in many parts of the world. Caught in the devastating aftermath of Hurricane Mitch in Honduras, which caused the deaths of over 10,000 people and $6 billion of damage, Duncan found himself, like so many, lacking food and clean water until relief agencies arrived. His experience of the challenges and adversity faced by struggling communities around the world would leave an indelible mark on him. In December 2003, Duncan would stumble across a newspaper article that would change his life and millions of others around the world. It featured a picture taken by Time Photographer of the Year Marco Longari of a young girl sat by a locked tap in Africa's largest slum, Kibera.
Something about that picture just moved me so much. And that was really the driving motivation for me, I think, to start One and the One Foundation, which is to try and help the 1 billion people in the world that didn't have access to clean water. We thought that even if we could change just one person's life, one day at a time, that would be something. So we set up an ethical water brand that would donate the profits to water projects in Africa. And the first bottles came out of production in 2005. By our 8th anniversary, we had given away £10 million. But always at the back of my mind was the girl that inspired me to start this and what had happened to her.
In June 2013, Duncan decided to try to complete the circle and find the girl from the photograph that had started everything. But this would be no easy task. Kibera is a sprawling network of largely unmarked back streets containing a population of nearly 1 million. With so much time elapsed, would anyone even recognize her? And with huge migration in and out of Kibera, would the girl be living there still? Or even be alive? The search for the girl was led by Umande Trust, a local organisation who had been looking for her and the water pump from the photo for several months. In September, Umande thought they had a lead, and Ian Spooner from One Water went to join the team in Kibera.
They're saying the butchery was there, the water point was there.
They come, it's here. The one who's been selling water here.
Come here.
Just come.
The chairman thinks he knows where the water point is. He's going to show us.
Today has just been one of the most intense experiences I've ever had. And we got in quite a bit deeper into the back street, 500 metres or so away from the main street. The investigation is clearly tricky. I mean, we are looking for a needle in a haystack. So on the face of things, it would seem impossible.
After 2 more days of dead ends, at last a change in fortune.
Who do you think it is?
I think it's Celestine. Celestine's father is my neighbour.
Celestine is studying at a school just outside Nairobi, so the team make the 2-hour drive to go and meet her.
Do you recognize this place?
Do you remember these trousers?
Do you think it's you?
The likeness is quite amazing, and she says that she remembers the trousers with the heart on. She talks about the pump. This could be it, I think.
Leaving on a high, the team return to the UK, and the following month Umande discover another possible match, sending photographs across of both candidates. A facial mapping and recognition expert has offered to help with the search, and all the collateral is sent for analysis. On December the 12th, 2013, the night of the One Foundation's Christmas party, the forensic report arrives.
I believe that the control individual and the subject images are of the same person, believed to be Anne Kabuki. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do now. We should go and celebrate or something.
Against all the odds, incredibly, one of the girls Umande had found was the girl from the photograph. Her name was Anne Njeri, 15 years old, and she was now living 3 hours north of Nairobi. A date was set to go and meet her, 11th of March 2014. After 10 years of emails and 2.5 million lives changed later, Duncan and Marco would finally meet. 2 men, lives intertwined through this one photograph taken a decade ago. It's a 3-hour journey to Embu, where Anne's school is. The team are joined by staff from Umande, Anne's uncle, aunt and sister, as well as a journalist from Pamoja FM, Kibera's radio station.
The principal is saying you can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. by the window, second green one from the left. Yeah.
It's a bit strange. It's not her fault. No. Me and you. It's not her fault.
After all this time, the moment has arrived, and Duncan, Marco and Anne finally meet.
Do you know who that is in that photo? You. Do you know who took that photo? That man.
That's going to be me.
The amazing thing is that this photograph that Marco took that inspired me has changed over 2.5 million people's lives throughout Africa that now have water, because you sat next to a tap one day when he was walking around with a camera.
Marco and Duncan had been clearly moved to meet Anne, but what wasn't evident yet was that even by Kabiran standards, her life had been tragic, with both her parents dying within a month and all 3 children being separated.
Mama ndo alienda wa kwanza mwezi wa June. Nilijiweka nguvu juu ya wadogo wangu ili pia wasiweze kuathirika sana. Nilijikaza, nikawapa nguvu pia wadogo. Ningependa tuungane si pamoja wote.
Duncan had been so moved by the tragedy of Anne's life that at one's 10th anniversary, he organised a fundraiser which paid for Anne's siblings to be taken out of their foster homes and funded a house for all the children to live in. It's May 2024. Almost exactly 10 years has passed since Duncan and Anne met at her school. The One Foundation have just reached the extraordinary figure of £30 million raised for water projects in Africa, changing over 5 million people's lives. And Duncan is preparing to visit some of the programmes and en route to meet with Anne again.
So how are you feeling about the trip?
Quite apprehensive, if I'm completely honest. It's I've only met Anne once, and her uncle and aunt, Moses and Carol. I'm nervous and excited about going back and seeing them, but I don't really know what to expect.
A lot has changed since Duncan and Anne last met. The money raised by One has paid for the education of all 3 children, and Anne has just recently graduated from university with a degree in tourism.
This is a bit of a pilgrimage in some ways to come back and see her again. Yeah, just a bit anxious. 2 on 2. I never in a million years thought that we would ever meet. I have the newspaper cutting that I framed. It's difficult to explain even now how one photograph can change so many people's lives. And every day I get up and I look at that and I go, this is the day that I have to go and do something else for somebody, because there are millions of people like you when you were a child who struggle with that every day.
It makes me feel special, like every journey has to start somewhere, and then I feel like I was the start of the journey. So it makes me feel proud, because I feel like because of me, many kids who are like me before in Kibera, I think their lives have changed, and too many people have access to clean water right now, and that is wholesome. Yeah. Let me tell you one thing for sure, I do not know where I would have been if Duncan didn't find me. That's why up to date I consider Duncan as my guardian angel.
So meeting Anne again, it was a really special moment for me, and I was actually very apprehensive about meeting her again, and I'm so thrilled that she's done so well. I think Anne is a great example of what can happen when you give someone a small hand up. And although the world of WASH development has changed massively since we started one back in 2005, the determination and the resilience of the communities to keep pushing forwards is the same. It's all about the provision of water and sanitation sustainably so that people can get on with their lives and build livelihoods. The ripples of impact up and down are huge. We still fund the repair of hand pumps and boreholes in rural areas, and there's still a massive need for that. But technology moves on and we're learning all the time. Hand pumps now include flow meters and SIM cards for monitoring. We fund tap and pay water kiosks in urban environments and infrastructure projects, piped water systems and water treatment facilities. Urban environments face their own water challenges, with drought-induced migration and rapid population growth straining already limited resources and infrastructure. I just hope that as we look to the future that everything that we've done, that we can just build on and make bigger and bigger and bigger.
If I'm literally one person, and my life was changed because of access to the clean water. You can imagine how many people would like to be like me and not suffer from these things that I suffered. And I hope people who are supporting one will continue so that too many lives will be impacted.